This is a guide on Viz'Aduum the Watcher, who's the final boss in the Return to Karazhan instance. This boss has 3 phases. In the first phase he's going to be casting Burning Blast, which needs to be interrupted as soon as possible, or it will cast a stacking debuff on the tank, which after approximately 3 stacks will become almost unbearable and kill the tank. He will also cast Bombardment at random times, which will target random points of the room, leaving a fell damage based attack, which doesn't do too much damage, so you can get hit by it a few times and not have to worry. He will also cast Disintegrate, which is a directional based attack, and if it hits you will cause a knockback effect. On this instant, in this phase it's not too bad. On the second and third phases it's a death sentence. He will also cast Fell Beam, which will target a random member of the team, focusing his eye on that player, leaving a trail of fell damage. And finally, the last thing he's going to be casting is Chaotic Shadows. If this hits you, then it will apply a debuff, and after a certain period of time will cause shadow damage orbs to appear from you in all directions. If this hits any member of the team, will explode, causing AoE damage and can be quite devastating. After you get him down to about 66% health, he'll go into phase 2. Phase 2 starts with you running at him along a platform of one of these 2 ships. I believe it's this one over here. He will constantly cast Disintegrate at you until you reach him. Once you reach him, he will carry on the fight as normal, except he will not use Fell Beam anymore. He now applies 2 stacks of Chaotic Shadows on 2 random party members. Obviously, once you've then taken him down to 33% health, he'll go on to the third phase. In the third phase, he will apply 3 Chaotic Shadows. Obviously, again, you want to avoid Disintegrate, and also there is a now adds as well on the third phase, which will continuously spawn from behind him, and also do a debuff to the tank, which can be dispelled, so dispel that as soon as possible. He will also start casting ability at the beginning of the third phase, which will basically I think it's some sort of rift, and you've got 30 seconds to interrupt that, which is pretty much a wipe if you don't. This can be quite a tricky battle, so you've got to be quite switched on and everyone's got to be awake for it. To be honest, you really do need all 3 players alive, all 5 players alive at the third phase.
Your resistance is misguided. Yield to us.
The second you engage him, he will stop casting Disintegrate. There we go. Now, Disintegrate here will pretty much cause you to wipe, so this really needs to be avoided. Right, Chaotic Shadows incoming, and it will be applied to 2 members of the party this time. Right, it's going to be me and the Rogue, and he is for some reason want to stack on me. A little tip is, if you do have Chaotic Shadows on you and the portal for the next phase is up, jump in it straight away. It will mitigate the Chaotic Shadows. So we need to pick up the ads as fast as possible and get them down. Right, I think it was a bad time for me, so good time to use cooldowns. And with that, holy Jesus, we have finally done it. Thank God. My God, that was one of the worst bosses ever. But yeah, that is basically how you do it in a nutshell. I hope you found this guide remotely useful. It took me about 24 times attempts to do it with a god knows how many different groups. And I will catch you next time.